right? That's the third city we visited in our trip. Let me show you how it all started.
女士们、先生们，欢迎乘坐和谐号动车组旅行。
First, we took the metro to reach Nanning high-speed station. Then the usual process of baggage check-in, security checks, and then waiting for our train to arrive. In 30 minutes, we reached Chongzuo. That was the shortest train ride we ever took in China. Then, it was a 20-minute taxi ride to reach our hotel. This is where we stayed for 2 days. This cute buggy was ready to take us to our room. It was so hot and humid, so that ride was really helpful. The atmosphere there was so calm and peaceful. Check out the property. Without wasting any time, we set out to find a restaurant to have lunch. That meal was super delicious. And the friendly owner gave us a free dish to try as well. Back at the hotel, we unpacked our stuff and rested for a bit. Later in the evening, we took a taxi to reach Taiping Ancient Town. It was so hot. We ducked into KFC, only to find the air conditioning wasn't working. But you know what? The food and the drinks made up for it. That meal was so delicious. After a bit of rest, we were out to explore the streets of this ancient town. We'd visited quite a few ancient towns in China, but this one quickly became one of our favorites. It might not be the most famous, but the wide streets, beautifully maintained buildings, grand entrance, and surprisingly smaller crowds made it such a pleasant place to wander around. As the sun was setting, we could see more people coming through. All that walking made us thirsty, so we walked over to the other side for a drinks break. I had a cold bubble tea, and my parents enjoyed this delicious dessert. Once it got dark, the whole place transformed. I really liked this ancient town. Since it wasn't too crowded, we could wander around at our own pace. We then noticed people going to the central square, which could only mean one thing: the show was about to begin. Just imagine, anywhere else a show like this would probably cost you, but here it was completely free. There was no entrance fee to the ancient town either. After the show, we wandered around a bit, grabbed some takeaway food and treated ourselves to some bubble tea. If you ever visit this city, Taiping Ancient Town is a wonderful place to spend your evening, and that's what made our first visit here so memorable. As we were about to head out, another show was about to start. We couldn't resist watching it for a while, before finally calling it a night. The next day, we were ready to visit the main attraction that brought us to Chongzuo. The ride to the waterfalls was so beautiful. The scenery around us was like a wallpaper. The journey took about an hour, taking us through scenic mountains and at least half a dozen tunnels along the way. The entrance ticket was 115 yuan, and it included the shuttle bus ride to the main entrance. This is one of the top places on our itinerary, and seeing it in person was simply breathtaking. Getting to the waterfalls from the shuttle bus stop was surprisingly easy. There was a bit of walking, but the pathways were well laid out and easy to follow. We took a walk up to the cafe, grabbed some drinks, and enjoyed even more amazing views of the waterfalls. The views from the cafe were absolutely stunning. We sat there for a while, soaking it all in and watching the world go by. we couldn't leave without doing, the boat ride. So down we went. Once we got the tickets, we were ready to go see the waterfalls up close. For the next 20 minutes or so, we just sat back and took in these incredible views. Visiting Detian Waterfall was everything we had hoped for and more. It's easily one of the highlights of our trip. If you're planning a visit to this part of China, I'd highly recommend adding it to your itinerary. You won't regret it. After spending around 3 hours there, it was finally time to say goodbye to this beautiful place. After that, we took the shuttle bus back to the main entrance and then caught a taxi back to our hotel. We ended up with the same taxi driver as before. We kept the rest of the evening nice and relaxed, taking it easy after an incredible day of exploring. And that's how our 2 days in Chongzuo came to an end. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us. In our next video, we'll be exploring another beautiful city, Dali, so make sure you don't miss it.